As a franchisor, we need to listen to our franchise partners. We need to ask them questions. We need to encourage them that when they find a better way, how do we document that? How do we share that? How do we make sure that people are following the same recipe that others have deemed to be very successful?
I love nothing more than watching people grow.
First franchise was in Toronto. So thousands of miles away from Vancouver on the west coast of Canada, where we're based. I had a fellow named Paul Guy. I talk about him in WTF, the book, and he was my operations manager. We worked together. We butted heads because we never agreed on anything. And he was a smart guy, but it became a challenge. And I remember one day he was sitting back in the days when we had private offices. Now it's all a big open office environment. He was in his private office and I went in and had a chat with him and we disagreed. And I said, this is difficult. I don't think this is working out. And he said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I think you should leave. And he said, when do you want me to leave? And I said, how about now? And he said, okay. And he never left. 3 days later, I came back in and I said, I got an idea. First of all, it's weird that you're still
here. Sitting there.
And I'm sure he went home at night to shower and eat and so on. But I said, listen, Paul, you go back and forth to Toronto every couple of weeks to visit your girlfriend, who's now his wife. I said, why don't you consider taking the first franchise? Why don't you start the first 1-800-GOT-JUNK? And his eyes lit up. They sparkled. We connected on possibility. And it just blew my mind years later to think how he's become one of my closest friends, one of my biggest supporters, and he laid the foundation for this business to become successful for everyone else. How you can take someone who's an adversary, who you're butting heads, locking horns like two rams on top of a hill, yet somehow Paul and I connected on possibility. And from that day on, things have been radically different.
And what was it that caused the knocking heads and suddenly realizing he was somebody that was completely different than that? What happened?
Part of it was maturity. I'm 48 now. I was about 28 then. I thought I knew everything then. I clearly didn't and never will. And I think part of it was his opinion, the style in which he shared his opinion, I found kind of confrontational. And I felt like maybe he didn't really have my back. But when I realized we aligned and joined forces based on a common vision, that's when that possibility lit up and we just got excited and fired up about what the future could look like. And we wanted to do this together, and we did. And it somehow changed. I mean, I don't know if at the time I got so excited because I wanted him out of my office and this was the only way to do it, but man, it worked out.
Thousands of miles away.
Exactly. Get as far away from me as you can and go run a business far away. But you know what? It's been amazing. He did $1 million in revenue in his first full calendar year with 1-800-GOT-JUNK. I did $1 million after 8 years. So here I am, a competitive guy. He goes out and does it 8 times as quickly as I did. And that's part of what made me go, wow, we are on to something. We've got systems and processes that are now starting to scale.
And he went back to Toronto and used the systems that you'd created?
Yeah, he used the system. He helped to tweak the systems and make them better. He has been a big supporter of systems, and he led the way. Everyone else who came in said, I want to be like Paul Guy. And it's been fantastic to have someone who was a part of creating some systems that others then scaled upon. And I think that taught us that as a franchisor, we need to listen to our franchise partners. We need to ask them questions. We need to encourage them that when they find a better way, how do we document that? How do we share that? How do we make sure that people are following the same recipe that others have deemed to be very successful?